Looking back to your preliminary task, what do you feel that you have learnt in the progression from it to the full product? I think we have learnt a lot in progression from my preliminary task to my full media product. It was a lot harder, and it takes a lot more skill and imagination to create a clear and consistent narrative that also engages and interests a certain audience in over 2 minutes than for the 10 seconds we were given for our preliminary task. By creating this media product, it allowed me to realise just how much time and money and effort is put into producing full-length cinematic film.
Firstly, we made sure that we addressed all the issues we faced in our preliminary tasks, such as professionalism. Match on action was an issue that we explored in our preliminary task, and it made me more aware of how to make a film more coherent. We tried to conform to match on action as much as possible, as we noticed how vital it was in the making of narrative. In making the narrative make sense in creating verisimilitude for the audience. We noticed in our preliminary task that we filmed at a direct light source. We tried to avoid this as much as possible in the scenes with the dialogue in the main opening sequence. However, when it came to the opening titles, we decided that we would film at direct light sources, such as adds to the overall atmosphere. Also, by creating this subversion of a filming technique, it allowed us to create a more visually immersive, unique opening titles that would stand out to our audience and allow them to be more visually engaged. We are very happy that we chose to film at a direct light source in our opening titles, as we think that it created an intriguing effect which was not only creative, which cleverly foreshadows what is going to happen in the rest of the narrative.
In our preliminary, we used Movie Maker as an editing software. We decided that we would need something much more professional for our main tasks. So this software allowed us to edit footage together brilliantly, as well as allowing us to explore our creative sides with a range of different effects and techniques. Most definitely would not have been able to achieve the style we did by using Movie Maker. In our main task, we showed a range of camera angles and scenes compared to our preliminary. In our preliminary, we mainly used mid-shots to get an idea of the characterization. However, in our main task, we had more time to convey the different aspects. This meant we could include close-ups, mid-shots, long shots, wide shots, two shots, over-the-shoulder shots, and perspective shots, all of which we included. Our main task expresses a multiple over-the-shoulder and point-of-view shots from both the characters so that the audience can understand both sides of the narrative. However, we focused on making the female character look particularly vulnerable to make her the victim. We did this by giving the male antagonist the authority through the use of high-angle shots, as if he is looking down. This use of over-the-shoulder shots lets the audience understand who's in control and who has more power, which can lead to audiences' interpretations about the narrative and that something bad could happen to the female.
As our preliminary task was filmed inside, it was easiest for us to get the correct lighting and sound from the camera, as there was no wind or environmental factors to disturb the camera. However, most of our main task was filmed outside on windy days. Although this was the right atmosphere, we had to make extra effort that the sound quality was not destroyed. Luckily, we managed to save all the sound in post-production and make it the best quality we could. Overall, I'm very pleased with the quality of our work due to the effort both of us have contributed to our performance. As we were able to include our imaginations to inspire ideas, then use the process of elimination to highlight the best, most advanced ideas and work with those. I think we have produced this media product to the best standard we could, and if we were not happy with something, we would redo it until we were satisfied. I have not only learnt more about the film industry and genres of films themselves, but I have learnt about the depths it takes. I've learnt about the depths it takes in order to successfully learn how to use editing software to produce a more unique film, and the enjoyment involved once we realised it looked good. Although we did encounter with many problems throughout, we managed to overcome them by effort and determination. in which we learn from our mistakes. We have also learnt to work to a deadline, as we found that timekeeping is a vital aspect. However, if we have more time and money to do this piece again, we would both like to add more artistic effects and imagery into the product, the opening titles particularly to give more of an edge to our work, as we were both particularly inspired by Carl Cooper and his work in the film Seven. I may also think about incorporating more technological advances into our work, such as CGI, to make it more immersive and more up to date with the modern film industry.